Quick, there is a housing shortage. I see it on the news. A clean-suited woman tells me, voice clipped and calm as a Conservative voting slip, that here in the UK there is a housing shortage. If only I could get a mortgage. So I walk into town, see houses frail as jutting bones, windows wide as lidless eyes. And I can't afford to live in the town that I was born in when it's £1,200 a month for a one-bedroom flat and I earn £1,100. And from the moment we first breathe, we can see the real needs. Care homes, hospital beds, boat moorings, traveller sites, options for people that are terminally ill. But quick, there is a housing shortage. If only I could get a mortgage. So from the moment we grow up, we are told that if we are lucky, we can borrow money. And I was taught to neither a lender nor a borrower be, but I never realised this Experian credit score would be such a necessity. And if we can never be free, we must at least appear to be the owners of something made of bricks. But betwixt the automated click of payment transfer and payment received, the banks own your house, like the moon owns the sea. And we own the banks, you and me. And we own the banks just as much as we can own greed and love, just as little as we can own trees, the land, the rivers that dance with the Cambridgeshire breeze, that space when you leave. But quick, there is a housing shortage. If only I could get a mortgage. So they are building more houses in my little town when there are already 723 up for sale and 269 for rent. And when I've bought my tiny plot and all my hard-earned cash is spent on flint and slabs, they still say, no, you cannot add a house to things we can't control. Good God, we cannot let you roll around not owing shit, like rent and tax and mortgage fees. We'll all be broke. With jangling keys and tenancies, we have you by the goddamn throat. So quick, there is a housing shortage. If only I could get a mortgage. But in the field next to me, where meadowsweet and willows grow, brags a grotesque sign. Reason Homes, executive housing. 400 flats in the Greenbelt, where in 1992, fen boys would bump around on off-road bikes, build apple crate bridges across muddy dikes, arms wide as the sea rose out of the ground. Little do they know that this land will be sold back to them by the councillors that sold off the town's marketplace for £1. And that this housing shortage is just a carefully engineered plan to fill tasty wads in the pockets of the man who owns the sky, who owns the land, who owns the pen that writes your hand, who owns the wheat that bakes your bread, who knows a mortgage on a house will be a debt until you're dead. So quick, there is a housing shortage. I'm quite glad I can't get a mortgage. Thank you.